Aloha, everyone. Joshua Hayes at BigWaveTrading.com. The market started to stage a pretty solid follow-through rally today, but by the close, the stimulus bill got held up in Congress, and we had a big sell-off into the close. And we pretty much found resistance right at these recent highs of 316 and 317, almost perfect resistance. And let's go ahead and switch over to my SPY chart here. I'm pretty sure that was a Fibonacci retracement level as well. Yeah, it was close, not quite there. It's a little bit under the 38.2, but still, bottom line is it basically found resistance right at that level. And for the meantime, there really isn't anything I see. Could we be bottoming? Absolutely. I'm open-minded. I'm never bullish. I'm never bearish. It is what it is. At any particular point, there are signs that we could potentially be bottoming. And at the same time, I don't think that we are just yet. At the very least, we're going to need to back and fill. If you look at this SPY chart, this is a very ugly look. We still have a lot of red in the balance of power. Volume is still lower on the up sessions compared to all of the down sessions. There's just really not much there. The DIA also, big reversal off its intraday highs on heavier volume. Technically, that's not a good pattern. That's a bad doji candle. The QQQ actually finished red today. At least volume was lower over there. And the Russell 2000, another doji candle. So there's a lot left to the imagination. It's possible that we could be hammering out a low in the market. And with what I see out there, there's a lot of good charts out there. Now, there's nothing I can go long, but I can show you some of the stocks that interested me, that if it was a better market environment, if this was a normal pullback and an overall uptrend, I am willing to take these signals. In this market, under my current rules, based on the current market environment, I cannot go long anything unless it's in a squeeze and firing with positive momentum, building positive momentum to the bullish side. So unless that's happening, I can't take a long position. And I'll show you all of these on version 18 where that indicator is. But TTM, that looks interesting off the lows. Oil looks interesting off the lows, which matches up with Oxy, which you've seen me post about here and even yesterday in these video lessons. CAD, interesting. PBF, interesting. ATRO, interesting. CCO, interesting. And like I said, maybe in a better market, some of these I would consider taking. But in this market environment, no. And like I said, this is the reason why, the main reason why. I want you to pay attention to this indicator down here. And then you can even look at this time segment volume indicator. This is the 2412 that I use on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. But TTM, you can see this is the best looking one. The TSV has gone positive, but still, there is no squeeze. You don't see any red, black, or yellow dots. You see green. And even though momentum is turning higher, it's hardcore negative. Like I said, this is a bottom fishing play for me in a good market. In this market, it's not good enough. Oil, same thing. Bad momentum, bad TSV, no squeeze. CAD, good TSV, bad momentum, no squeeze, no long. Oxy, TSV is finally turning. We are moving up on the momentum side, but it's still negative with no squeeze. PBF, obviously, there's nothing going to be there. ATRO, the same thing. But hey, look at that TSV line squeeze. So like I said, these are names that you see that TSV. Sorry, I'm tired, guys. You see that TSV cross. These are the ones I'm willing to play. TTM, I'm willing to play. ATRO, I'm willing to play. But CCO, definitely willing to play. Just not in this market. I had a run in 2019 that was okay, but the pull from the account highs in 2019 to lows means that I have to follow my rules. And that's why the only long position I have currently is ZM. And if you look down here, this is what the chart looked like when I went long. You can see it was under a tight squeeze. Even though momentum was initially falling, you can see that there's a darker blue than a lighter blue. It was rising. TSV was over the signal line with that yellow dot indicating tightest squeeze. Hey, it worked out and is still working. I'm still long ZM. I have a profit stop here, a profit stop there, a small sell stop here, and a tiny sell stop right there. 1, 2, oh, 1, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4 stops. Initially, I had 5. I had 2 here. I decided to open them up to make sure that I lock in gains at a higher price level. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But that's it on the quality side. Now, my favorite setup out of everything out there is this stock right here, GSX. Look at this chart pattern despite this market. Now, I can't remember where there it is. Look at the white line here. That's the relative strength line compared to the S&P 500. Look at how strong that line is while the stock consolidates sideways. Now, currently, it's sloppy. This is not a chart pattern I buy. It's too loose, too much red, too much yellow. And then once again, we go down here and we look at this stock on a daily chart. You can see time segment volume on a daily basis down. We are in a squeeze. That is positive. You can see the squeeze is turning higher from the lower level, but it's still negative momentum. And guys, I know that for some of you, what was so funny is before this downtrend started, I was getting a lot of complaints that there were too many signals. There are just too many signals. Well, folks, listen, when my time segment volume on a monthly time frame isn't bullish, the entire uptrending period in 2019, when I don't get any beautiful chart setups, and I'm going to now remind you what it would look like. This is about the closest, oh, it's WTRG now. This is about the closest one during that entire uptrend besides ARWR. I'll show you another one right after this. This is what a great chart looks like to me. When I get this chart, I can load up, okay? But this was a water utility stock. So when I got it, I decided not to load up. But still, look at how well it worked out. I would have never have guessed that. That being said, what's the total gain? Only 21%. Back in the day, that probably would have been like an 80, 150% move. Besides that setup that worked, the only other one that really worked well that I would consider near perfect was ARWR, and it wasn't because it was a little extended. But that being said, this is a great setup. I got this setup. Here was the initial. I took this as an early signal. Then I got this one. But man, this stock blew past my good to cancel buy stop limit levels, and I never got a position. And as you can see, ARWR worked really well. So next time I won't do that. Next time I get a perfect setup, I'm just going to do the old school method, good to cancel limit order at the high of the day. That would have ensured I got filled. But look at what happened with this one. Remember, I missed it. Didn't get filled. 232% gain in 6 months. That averages out to right around 450 to 500% a year. So that's the chart patterns I'm looking for. But besides ARWR, WTRG, I didn't get anything that then materialized anything. There were a couple of other names that set up. They failed. Small losses, but they still failed. They didn't work. So without those kind of signals and without a bullish monthly TSV, I have to piecemeal together a portfolio because it's impossible to have conviction in any one trade right now. So that's why you had a lot of signals. Now that we're in this market, we're not getting any signals because I'm not putting you guys in harm's way. It's either got to be a setup like ZM that then comes with, actually this was the long signal date right here, that actually comes with that squeeze with the bullish momentum, or there is no trade. Now I will in this video lesson show you stocks that I'm watching. CODX, CODX. This is a nice chart pattern. I still don't have a signal or a buy. ALT. This is the only name that I flagged yesterday as a potential long signal on a speculative basis. But you know what? I couldn't take it. You want to know why? Earnings are April 1st, 1 week away. That's an automatic no for an end-of-day long position. Because let's say that doesn't trigger and fill today, which it would have, and it's up 7% today. And let's say in the next 3 days, it doesn't trigger, but the signal remains true, and then it does trigger. Well, I only have 2 more days before those earnings release. What if the stock gaps down to $1.80? I can't risk that. So there's no trade there either. But ALT still looks really good. TOCA, I like the way TOCA is consolidating. MRNA, I like the way this is consolidating. IBIO, I like the way this is consolidating. NBY, APRN, the same thing. Now, the funny thing about MRNA, I don't think it's CODX anymore. I think I might have all 3 of these still tracking on an end-of-day basis. Let's check. So I'm still tracking for the website 20 long positions, but I don't have positions in these anymore. CODX is not one of them. MRNA still is, completely out of it, so that's still holding up. And IBIO, this was the long signal here. The entry, where did I get out with all my profits? Right there. Whoopsie daisy. Missed out on a near 700% move in just a couple days. But at the open on this day, I took all my profits. Whoopsie daisy. But anyway, I like the way IBIO is setting up. So there are some setups out there. There's just no signals. I'm not going to force trades. Oh my God, we're missing the market move off the lows. Guys, I just don't feel that way at all. I mean, at all. I don't even have an inkling of that. Daily, my TSV lead line is still below the signal line. Negative momentum, no squeeze, tons of overhead resistance. If you're a member to the website, watch the video lesson. I made it clear. 9 EMA, 21 EMA, 200, 50, 100 SMAs. This price support level, or resistance level, that price resistance level, that price resistance level, that price resistance level, this price resistance level. Then there was the Fibonacci retracement that you saw me draw earlier. Then something that I'll discuss again with non-members that are watching this video, you draw Fibonacci symmetry from this low to this high, measured to this low. You will then have resistance levels from this low to this high to this low. You will then have resistance levels. We have a ton of overhead resistance levels, and I'm not messing with that until I'm for certain that the worst of this coronavirus is past us and I have real legit signals in long positions. So the SPY, I'm not interested in that. TSV is still negative, not interested. IWM, not interested. QQQ, not interested. The DIA, not interested. So if you feel like you've missed the bottom and you feel like you got to chase this market, great. I don't. I hope we move higher, pull back, consolidate, then start to move higher again. I guarantee you I'll get some good solid long signals and quality stocks. But until then, no. We may have a bottom. There's other indication in other stocks that I've gone over in these video lessons for members the past week that signal that these stocks might have their bottom in place. But until the market gives me more concrete evidence, I get better internal indicators and sentiment changes, I'm not changing my mind. And on that note, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But the individual, what is this thing called again? I hate investor. I am so tired. Wow. Investors Intelligence Survey. The bulls and bears didn't budge this week from last week. There are still more bulls than bears in the Investors Intelligence Survey, 34.6% to 32.7%. I have never once in my trading career seen a significant low or bottom in the market without this indicator having more bears than bulls. And if you're asking me, well, did it have more bears than bulls at the 2018 lows? Yes, it sure did. I don't see what the total is here. Hold on. Bulls 29.9%, bears 34.6%. So people were more bearish at the 2018 lows here than they are currently here, which is mind-boggling to me. So until I see that change, I don't know. You can think we have a bottom. Maybe we do. I'm open-minded. I'm just not going to say that we do yet until I see more evidence to the contrary. So to wrap the video lesson up, there are no new long positions once again. And it's funny because I can feel it that people are like, where's all the end-of-day long signals? You guys complained when there were too many during the uptrend, And now I can kind of feel that there's an urgency to put money to work now in the short term. There's no signal. There's no signal. I don't force things on an overnight basis when there's this level of volatility in the market. So 0 end-of-day long signals. And on the flip side, out of those 20 stocks I'm still tracking on an end-of-day basis for the website, there are 0%, 50% sell signals. There are 0, 50% sell signals. And there are 0, 100% sell signals. Trust me, when this market does bottom out, when I get evidence that the turn is in, when I get those squeezes, when I get those setups in stocks like ZM, I didn't balk at this signal, did I? I took this one in the middle of the sell-off, and it worked out beautifully. Still is working, by the way. Still have a position. When I get signals like that, hey, I'm in. When I get that perfect setup like you saw in WTRG and ARWR, I'm all in. We'll make a lot of money. Right now, it's a day trader's market. My focus is on the intraday time frame. I was not around, did not like anything I saw today, but let me show you one setup today that I didn't take because I wasn't here that was just wonderful for the SPY. So let me go back here. It's around 12:30, right? Am I on the right date? I am not on the right date. No wonder that didn't look right to me. Okay, so let's go back to here just so you can all know what it looks like. So right here, you can see the SPY took down, came back up. It's consolidating. You've got it stacked on top of the 9, 21, 50, 100, 200, and VWAP. You'll notice how it's in a long, loose, medium squeeze. Notice how we got that rising positive momentum. I actually need to switch it to this other time because it's got this new time segment volume indicator that I will be using from now on. But you see how it's consolidating in that tight squeeze, the building positive momentum. TSV is above that signal line. Well, on a 3-minute, look at what we have here. Tightest squeeze, tightest squeeze, tightest squeeze, tightest squeeze. For 4 dots in a row, we have the time segment volume lead line above the moving average, and it breaks out. And you can see we now go from our tight to a medium squeeze, and on a 1-minute chart, we're already got positive building momentum. Things are all lined up, and I just want to show you how well that worked. We'll go back to a 3-minute and what it did. Once again, wasn't around for this signal. Just trying to show everybody what you need to look for. So while the SPY moved up during this time frame, right around 3.5%, the call options that expired on Friday moved up anywhere, depending on your strike price, from 150% to 300% during that basically 2-hour move. So keep that in mind. That's what I look for, the squeezes. But besides the SPY setup intraday, the only other one, and I was not aware of it because once again, I wasn't around when CODX made this initial move, was CODX. And as you can see, the initial pop, let me go back to the minute chart. The initial pop worked, but then by the close, gave it all back. Came right back to where it started. So it's just not the right, perfect, ideal market for me. And right now, intraday, it's been a challenge to be around for the right setups. What are you going to do? Either live on Maui and love life, or day trade full-time on the mainland and be miserable. Those are my 2 options. All right, everyone. If you enjoyed the video lesson, please do me a favor. Hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment. If you have any questions, I will reply as soon as possible. Aloha.